Une couleur, un blason, des voitures qui symbolisent désormais la Formule 1. Depuis 1950, les monoplaces rouges se sont imposées comme un modèle, une référence pour la concurrence. 31 titres mondiaux pour les voitures tatouées du cheval cabré, plus que n'importe quelle autre équipe. Certains des plus grands pilotes, certains des plus grands succès. Mais depuis 6 ans, Ferrari ne gagne plus. La Scuderia s'est transformée en éternel deuxième. Cette malédiction, les Rouges veulent la conjurer en 2014.
Ferrari needs to win.
Pour gagner, l'institution doit innover. Après des années de stabilité, la Formule 1 mue de façon radicale. Un nouveau règlement, une nouvelle voiture à dessiner, un nouveau moteur surtout à intégrer, un V6 turbo couplé à des systèmes de récupération d'énergie jamais vus en compétition. L'espoir de reconquête de Ferrari, l'histoire d'un défi qui ne fait que commencer.
We still have a lot of things to do.
Une histoire d'hommes et de technologie.
We were crazy 2 years ago thinking that we would have had this power unit running.
L'histoire d'une équipe chevillée à son pays, l'Italie. L'histoire d'une ville, Maranello, qui se dévoue jour après jour pour que les Rouges gagnent. La quête commence forcément à la maison. 15 avril 2013, Maranello se prépare à une naissance, celle de son tout nouveau moteur V6. Les membres de la famille Ferrari attendent, impatients et anxieux, ses premiers cris.
When we fired up for the first time the new engine, the V6, on the dyno was a special moment for all the team. I remember that I've called our chairman to attend to this moment. And I remember that behind the screen of the dyno, there were a lot of engineers that were waiting for that moment, because at the end of the day, that was, and it is, actually now, their life. So that was the start of a new journey, the start of a new project, the start of a new hope for a lot of people.
Loin du secret du banc d'essai, une saison doit pendant ce temps s'achever. Pour la 4e fois d'affilée, Sebastian Vettel et Red Bull deviennent champions du monde. Les Rouges, eux, sont incapables de lutter depuis plusieurs mois déjà.
There are few words to summarize 2013. We are not happy at all about the result.
It has been quite a season where we would like to forget as soon as possible.
Being Ferrari, you have to win. Second position is not position for Ferrari.
Le crépuscule d'une saison ratée aussi pour Fernando Alonso, 2 victoires seulement. L'Espagnol, jusque-là exemplaire, s'est même laissé aller à des critiques contre sa voiture cette année.
We won the first couple of Grand Prix, we were on the podium at the beginning, so the first half of the season was all right. And then, unfortunately, for too many reasons, there was one reason connected to the fact that we were not able to develop the car, in the right way. Secondly, with the change of the configuration of the tires has affected our performance. And unfortunately, we went in the second half of the season in a very difficult situation.
This year, we had some problems with the tires, and I think in Ferrari we're struggling a little bit more with the last construction on the tires that slowed down a little bit our performance. But as I said, it's the same for everybody, so it's up to us to do a little bit better.
In difficult moments, you need to build up with a strong basis to look ahead, and this is what I believe we have done.
2014 is a big challenge for all the teams. It's a big change in the regulations. The turbo engine come back for next year. There are some other aerodynamic effects that will change maybe the order of the cars. So we have until March next year to put all the parts together, and finger crossed will be good enough. Come here. Look there. Good. Give me five.
Easy competition.
Fin d'année en roue libre. Un podium sur les 3 dernières courses. Mais l'avenir de Ferrari ne s'écrit pas sur les circuits. À Maranello, les cerveaux de la Scuderia s'épuisent depuis longtemps sur les nouvelles règles. Réunion pour l'équipe de développement responsable du bloc moteur, la principale nouveauté de l'année à venir. Le temps presse, départ du Grand Prix d'Australie dans 4 mois à peine.
It's quite busy, as you might imagine. We have a brand new engine, brand new powertrain, really, I would say, cutting-edge technology.
Next year we'll have a very big change in the regulation. From a 2.4-liter naturally aspirated engine, V8, we will pass to a 1.6-liter turbocharged engine with a much bigger cars, around 160 horsepower.
Currently, 2013, the car system gives an advantage of 3 to 4 tenths per lap. We'll be close to the 3 seconds per lap next season, so it's really 10 times more powerful.
One thing is getting the engine to work and be as powerful as you want it to be. The other thing is there's many systems on the car next year. So there's the engine system, there's systems to look after all the electrical and the hybrid part of the car, which need to be as small and as light as possible. It's a Formula One car. There's no room for a suitcase, shall we say. It's really packaged to the maximum. Trying to put all that together and learn how to make it work together, where it's not benign, that's been quite challenging.
Reliability is playing a key role. Next year will be even more critical because each driver will have only 5 power units for the complete season, making engine life almost double what we are doing right now. On top of this, FIA put a limit of 100 kilos of fuel for the complete race. You may imagine that with the same 100 kilos we should race in Melbourne and we should race in Monaco. And typically these two tracks have completely different total fuel consumption. So this means next year the strategy of fuel consumption during the race may become critical in some races.
The fuel is becoming really very important for the performance of the engine and finally of the car, even more than what it was in the past. So it means that here the objective will be to reduce more than 30% fuel consumption compared to what we are doing today.
One, it's very interesting and challenging being a Formula One engine development guy, and the other thing is very relevant for the future, so it's particularly satisfying, but we're here day and night, shall we say, so the old cup of tea helps.
I think the fact that we could start from the beginning together with Shell to design a power system and the fuel and the lubricant with this new concept has been really rewarding and a really fantastic technical experience. This is the work not just of the last few months. This is a work of almost 3 years of the complete team, and hopefully we will prove that we have done a good job.
I think what we are facing at the moment is the most important challenge we had in the last at least 20 years in Formula One. This is really a stressful process.
De la pression, de l'excitation aussi pour ces hommes qui dessinent, dans l'ombre, les futurs succès ou les futurs échecs de l'équipe. Dave Salters est en première ligne, il supervise le développement du nouveau moteur.
There's a lot of pressure in what we do, and you feel a lot of responsibility working for Ferrari. I go for Sunday lunch, and if the race is on at Sunday lunch, you know, people are all looking at the television, and it's a national, it's an institution here, Ferrari. So it's a national team, effectively. So you feel responsibility for it, but I take it in a very pleasurable and proud way, really. You know, we're all very proud to work for Ferrari. So it's one day you'll look back for sure and think, wow, that was quite exciting.
Un Anglais en Italie, un comble, alors que 7 des 10 équipes de F1 sont installées au Royaume-Uni. Mais pour l'ingénieur de Liverpool, la route qui mène à Maranello a une saveur spéciale.
If you look here, there's a 250 LM. Wow. That is about 20 million euros worth of cars sat on the side of the road. So you don't see that very often in Northampton, to be honest. I think that's my favourite Ferrari, to be honest. Maybe you asked what my inspiration for Ferrari. I once saw a documentary where there was a 250 LM, which is that car, going through the fields of France, and it has a fantastic V12 engine, which when you hear it makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. So it's a shame that guy's stopped at the moment, but there we are. That's quite nice.
Pas le temps de penser à Noël pour le moment. Chaque détail doit être examiné, chaque donnée analysée. Y compris pour des éléments apparemment anodins, comme l'essence. Elle est constituée à 99% des mêmes types de composants que les versions grand public, mais elle n'échappe pas à la règle, une remise en question permanente, l'absence de droit à l'erreur. Mais justement, au cours de la réunion d'aujourd'hui, la Scuderia pointe un problème.
From what we do with the performance testing, we were seeing misfires in 2 or 3 hours, and that more or less in the long run looked to be about 3 hours, so you could say it was single. But it's quite variable. It depends what we do, because sometimes it's 3 hours, and the best record yet was probably last Friday or something where it was 40 minutes. So
40 minutes?
40 minutes. So that is not usable. So I would say we've got a reasonable challenge ahead of us in the next weeks, because U40 is great, but it's not raceable.
We've just heard in the meeting that the latest fuel that we've been working on with Ferrari gives great performance, but the durability just isn't quite there, which is, I think, in all honesty, a little bit disappointing. And frustrating. We've put a lot of effort into this latest fuel. It's built on a lot of different technologies that we've been working on, developing for some time now. So it is frustrating, but that's the nature of Formula One, really. We've just got to pick ourselves up, move forward, try and look at what we can improve, and really try and achieve that within the very, very tight timeline that we're working towards now.
Technically, we need to have finished all this by Christmas, which sounds impossible, to be honest, right now, but they won't move the start of the racing season, unfortunately. We have asked many times and they just refuse.
Ferrari would like that solved within 2 or 3 weeks, but realistically that's a tough call, tough ask. So the backup fuels, we've got to get them in place and tested by Ferrari just up before Christmas, so it's all hands to the decks. While the rest of the world is enjoying Christmas, for us often it is the busiest part of the year, and especially the case this year with the new engine and the new challenges.
Des nuits pour épuiser les esprits, Des nuits pour affoler les cœurs. À Maranello, derrière les portes, à l'abri des murs, une course se prépare. Dans cette pièce, le simulateur Ferrari. Un endroit crucial alors que les essais grandeur nature se font rares. Grâce à lui, pilotes et voitures roulent sans se déplacer, un luxe à 5 millions d'euros. 2 tonnes de métal, de câbles, de fibres, de capteurs, surveillés par l'ingénieur de piste Andrea Stella. De l'autre côté de la vitre, Fernando Alonso se met pour la première fois au volant de sa monoplace version 2014.
Target at the end of the lap 300 target.
It was nice to come back behind the wheel and start. We cannot wait too much because the regulations are very different. So it's nice to be back and try to share some ideas with the engineers. Obviously, we need to learn and we need to practice a lot of things. And we are in a very first part of the program, and as I said, it's nice to be involved in this whole new thing, no? Because it's like new Formula One for everyone. Simulator is always hard, especially because the hours that you spend there is a little bit more than the car. You don't lose time to make changes. Everything is on the computer, so you keep running all the day without problems, which is nice, but it's hard. Simulator is mentally also very stressful because with all the images and with the 3D, etc. When you go back and you see all the light, it's even hurting yourself, because you are very dark inside. So yeah, we complete more or less the program. Happy with some of the results that we had, and as I said, nice.
La journée de Fernando Alonso n'est pas terminée. Tout juste sorti du simulateur, le double champion du monde saute dans un hélicoptère, direction Rome, pour une opération promotionnelle. Un rythme effréné alors que la saison n'a pas commencé. Le quotidien d'une équipe de F1 en décembre. Mais aujourd'hui, le temps ralentit. Ferrari perpétue une tradition, le repas de Noël auquel sont conviés les 700 employés de Maranello. Tous se rassemblent. Ingénieurs, pilotes, Piero Ferrari, le fils d'Enzo, le fondateur de l'équipe. Un repas de famille, mais pas seulement. Luca di Montezemolo est là, lui aussi. Le grand patron vient présider la cérémonie. Et faire passer un message à son équipe.
Negli ultimi 4 anni, se ricordo bene, abbiamo fatto 3 volte il secondo posto, adesso ci siamo stufati dei secondi posti.
Sì, non è facile prendere il secondo posto, ma penso che dobbiamo guardare avanti. Siamo davanti a qualche anno importante, Don Emilio 14, 15, 16, quindi andiamo avanti. Forza Ferrari.
Pour Alonso aussi, le temps presse. 4 ans passés en rouge, pas le moindre titre. Mais aujourd'hui, plus question de parler des frustrations en piste. Place à la magie de décembre. Aux côtés d'un Fernando Alonso un peu crispé dans son déguisement, Felipe Massa profite lui de son dernier Noël en tant que pilote Ferrari. Des stars sur scène, exposées. Pendant ce temps, dans les ateliers, des centaines de personnes s'appliquent à peaufiner les monoplaces avant les premiers essais à Jerez. Pourquoi la Formule 1 excite-t-elle autant ces travailleurs de l'ombre?
So this is one Malik sports racing car in amongst with all the junk. As a Formula One fan, as a petrol head from the start, I mean, I remember when I first got involved in motor racing myself, I went down to round the corner to a friend who had a racing car in his garage and used to look at his Autosport, and you see pictures of Fiorano and the Ferrari going around the test track there, and people at the bottom of the track by the bridge towards the Montana restaurant we know. That, and I remember looking at those and thinking, oh, that's fascinating. And little did I believe that probably 30 years or something like that later, I would be actually out there myself inside the track and inside Ferrari. So, I mean, it's been fascinating.
Coming back from the races, coming down the driveway and just getting home is a really nice feeling, actually. Coming away from all the hustle and bustle and the busyness and the fast pace, it's nice to come away here and just decompress and relax a bit, spend time with the family. It is the perfect getaway, really. Have a nice walk. I've looked back over the last year, my first year doing the job, and there are a few things that really stick in my memory. One of them is the day I first got my uniform with my name on it. That was absolutely incredible. And I think every time you pull on the red uniform representing Shell and Ferrari, it does feel quite special. I struggle to articulate how much this all means to me, to be honest.
The problem with garages, they never have enough room in them. It always manage to fill up the available space. So unfortunately the garage is not quite like a Formula One pit or the garage back in the workshops back in Maranello. It's quite different. the other end of the racing scale. Racing is racing. It's the same mentality throughout, you know. There is some trophies up there. It's a bit tarnished these days, but there's several championships I won in the mid-90s. I actually won a national championship 3 years on the run.
Having a victory in Melbourne will be amazing because it will be quite very indicative that the massive amount of work that we've done with Ferrari and we are doing in Shell will have been worthwhile and we'll have actually achieved something. So, yeah, hopefully it will be there.
Le dernier vainqueur à Melbourne, c'est lui. Le dernier champion du monde avec Ferrari, c'est lui. Kimi Raikkonen.
Not a good spot. I didn't manage to park it in there.
Titré en 2007, mais remercié en 2009 pour laisser la place à Fernando Alonso, le Finlandais revient cette année chez Ferrari.
It's nice to come back and start working with Ferrari again. People are a bit more busy maybe because the new, slightly new rules, but all seems to be going nice along, and we should take it. Because I don't have a reference, you know, how it looks.
Les premiers tests à Jerez en Espagne approchent. À Maranello, c'est le sprint final. Travail jour et nuit pour finir le programme d'avant-essai. Régler les derniers détails. Le patron de la firme, lui, martèle une nouvelle fois l'objectif dans un message de bonne année diffusé sur Internet.
Dear friends, as every year, a day like today is a very important one. I'm confident because we have a strong team and I think that we have all the ingredients to be successful. Now it's time to win.
Le véhicule qui doit ramener Ferrari vers la victoire, la F14T, prend justement forme aujourd'hui. Sous l'œil gourmand et inquiet de ceux qui vont la conduire, de ceux qui l'ont conçue, de ceux qui seront tenus responsables d'un éventuel échec.
Così non va bene, quindi dobbiamo rivederla tutta.
I don't achieve what I achieve, so
Plus de retour en arrière possible. La voiture de 2014, la voici, même si les 3 périodes de tests prévues avant saison permettront de l'affiner. Demain, justement, l'équipe s'envole vers Jerez, en Espagne, pour le premier galop d'essai de l'année. Un test pour la voiture, un test aussi pour les hommes. En quelques jours seulement, les ingénieurs doivent valider leur travail, identifier les problèmes, trouver des solutions.
First of all, we have very little testing compared to years ago, because only 12 total days of testing before the first race with a completely new regulation is really very little. And days are very long. People are sleeping 1 or 2 hours at the moment per night. There's a lot to be learned, a lot to be discovered, a lot to be done. So the fact that it's so new, so different and so complex makes things even more difficult. And from now to the first race there will be a lot to sort out and to find out. So it's really challenging. It's a huge job. It's really a big effort. No stop. We will have rest later in the year.
À 23h30, la voiture arrive enfin sur le circuit. Dernier moment de mystère autour du nouveau pur sang de l'équipe italienne. La veille des essais, le moment de tout installer, de faire pour la dernière fois de la théorie pure.
We've made a lot of progress with the U40 type of fuels, but we've come a long way with understanding the problems, fixing them, and we've got a couple of options up our sleeve for similar type fuels, so it's looking pretty promising.
Trying to make it all work together has been the biggest challenge, and I think you'll find that's the biggest challenge in the car. Trying to get any one of those things to work is not so bad. Trying to get them all to work together in the correct way at the right time is the challenge.
Dans le garage, tout le monde se rassemble. C'est le moment de démarrer le moteur. Des hoquets, un début de feu, une nouvelle courte nuit pour les mécaniciens.
Okay, morning everyone. Where do we normally start? Weather. Weather is looking like it's going to be dry all day.
It was incredibly important at Jerez to run. People wanted to run because Jerez is the opportunity to find the problems that you still have some time to fix.
We do only the first installation with 70% fuel load.
I had to be in Jerez. I had to be there at the first time, at the first lap, but I was scared.
Okay, radio check, see you going corner 1. Yeah, radio check.
When we have so many new parts running for the first time, the likelihood to stop the car are very high.
C'est Kimi Raikkonen qui sort pour la première fois la nouvelle voiture du garage.
Stop the car now, stop the car.
I heard on the headphone that we had to stop the car. The first thought was, I hope that we have not damaged the car. You know, the car is one, some parts are coming at the last moment, so I was really scared to have damaged the car. Second, I hope I have not damaged the engine.
So Kimi's just stopped on the track. The team saw a potential problem in telemetry data which might have indicated low oil pressure, so as a precaution they stopped the car, Kimi jumped out and they brought everything back to the garage. We've taken an oil sample, run some wear metal analysis to make sure everything's okay. Good news is that everything is okay, so it's likely a faulty sensor or signal which the team are working on now.
Okay, so box in the pit stop position.
Le problème résolu, Kimi Raikkonen boucle 31 tours.
Okay, Kimi, power unit drivability feeling.
I think it wasn't too bad, apart from those, the biggest issues was definitely from second gear, shifting to third gear.
That rears or front?
This one is front. Before it was also rear.
Meilleur temps de cette première journée pour le Finlandais.
Yeah, there's always pressure on Ferrari to win a world championship. Clearly, because they're the most historic team in Formula One and they've got the biggest fan base around the world. You know, you go into a grandstand, even here at testing, you have a look, there are more red caps and t-shirts in the grandstand than there are of any other single team. So there's a lot of expectation on Ferrari. They've come so close in the last sort of 4 or 5 years, Fernando Alonso finishing second in the championship. So they've come so close, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if this change in regulation is really what they need and what they can take advantage of to win the championship again.
So on the engine, we have a long-run engine fitted, 630 kilometers done so far.
Formula One without Ferrari wouldn't be the same.
Okay, radio check.
Okay.
This is the history of motor racing. Ferrari is more important alone than all the other teams together. Ferrari needs to win. They need to win races, they need to win championships, because their vocation is the win, not to compete.
I think one of the keys to the start of this season is trying to get to the end of the race, which is not a given. It's all complex, all new. You know, the cars have only just run, and we're weeks away from Melbourne.
Basically, I think of what you should do in 6 months, you have to do in 3, or even less. Flat out here, flat out in Maranello, that is the spirit of Ferrari.
We have assembled all the car, the power unit, the air system at the very last minutes. So it has been up to the last second to put all together and to move to Jerez.
I've been around in Formula One a long time, but this magnitude of change in technology I've not seen before, and I think you could feel the atmosphere in the garage.
I felt different compared to last year, even in full throttle.
Mentre Colonna si stava spaventando, hanno staccato il bidone.
I have to say that when we were there the first day in Jerez, then we were a little bit nervous because we knew that it was a very difficult and complicated job. And I was proud to see that after the end of the test, everything was all right.
It has been a very tough test in Jerez. We were expecting this, but we have collected what we wanted. We have run consistently. We have collected a lot of information that we could not draw just running on the dyno. We got some important feedback from our drivers. So I would say the first test in Jerez has been great for Ferrari, and a lot of work to be prepared for the next test in Bahrain.
Plus de 250 tours en 4 jours pour Raikkonen et Alonso. Avec Mercedes et McLaren, Ferrari fait partie des équipes qui ont le plus roulé à Jerez. Début février, retour à Maranello. Moment de nostalgie pour Kimi Raikkonen au moment de croiser sa monture de 2007.
It's that one, yeah. Yes. I mean, it looks... the color was a little bit different, like we can see on that here from the previous years. But I mean, I think it looks nice car because it has all those details that we used to have, and I mean, the rules were a little bit different. So was a very good car. I had a good races with it, so it looks nice. I wouldn't say that it's so much different. Obviously, different engine, different rules, slightly different tires, but I wouldn't say that this is so much different on what we're going to have this year.
Now we are here in Maranello after Jerez, and we are quite lucky that there is few weeks, more than 2 weeks to the next test in Bahrain.
We are counting down the days towards the start of the championship. We are preparing tests, we are preparing the races. The action is incredible because there is never enough time to be ready.
It's all becoming really true now. So you think, oh, okay, Australia's in, and then you look at the calendar and you go, oh wow, it's weeks. It's flat out, as you can imagine.
Obviously, people are very busy here at the factory to solve all the small issues and improve the electronic side, what is the most trickiest with the new rules.
There is a list of action that are needed on the actual car. There are a lot of activity that is going on for the development of the car, medium and long term.
So we need to make sure that what we've got will work properly, but what's the next step? It's continuous evolution at the moment, really.
I think we still have a lot of things to do, but so far it's been pretty okay, and I'm sure we can improve it.
It's been a very busy day. We are preparing Bahrain test. We can't afford to lose time in Bahrain. In Bahrain, we absolutely need to be there and ready and maximize the number of kilometers we can do. If you just judge it from a pure logical point of view, we were crazy 2 years ago thinking that we would have had this power unit running, because there was so much to develop in terms of technology. There were not parts available on the shelf on the market. But you know, it's having 2 years in front, 2 or 3 years in front of you. We thought we could have changed the world. So we started then very conscious of how difficult it was, but never thinking about how really difficult would have been then. And I would say now that you are very close, probably if you had other 2 years, it won't be enough to be 100% sure. Every day I'm going to work, happy to go to work. I'm looking forward to enter the company. Having the chance to do what you love, what you started to study for, I'm lucky, I would say. So it doesn't cost me too much to stay long at work.
Des centaines de kilomètres, encore une fois. Arrivé à Bahreïn pour les 2 dernières séries de tests avant le grand départ de Melbourne. Certains doutes se sont estompés. Le moteur fonctionne. S'il n'est pas le plus rapide, il semble capable d'enchaîner les tours. La mise en lumière d'un défi commençait il y a 3 ans, dans le secret des ateliers de Maranello.
When you work for Ferrari, obviously the passion is really what you've got inside. And you know at what time you start in the morning, you never know at what time you finish in the evening.
If you walk in our facility, if you see our people, from their faces, even if all the people are tired, you can see that we are all proud and happy to be involved in such an important project.
I think that we are really, really lucky to be part of that company, to be part of that sport, because really we are enjoying our days here working in Ferrari.
We know that we are a part of this group, and we know the responsibility that we have, and of course we want Ferrari to be at the #1 position every time.
I think looking back over the last few months, the whole team should be incredibly proud of what they've been able to do so far.
30, yeah.
When we started all this, because the old engine was frozen and we were trying to save money, you know, we've had to build a new team. So from a personal managerial aspect, it's been delightful growing a team of brilliant people who were so much fun to work with and have really grown into the new engine. So there's a human managerial aspect which has been very rewarding.
A lot of it goes unnoticed, to be honest. The hours, the effort, the out-of-hours work, the constant and relentless push that the team have towards bringing more and more performance and improvements in the fuels and oils is, yeah, it's incredibly impressive.
And like all things that you put hard work into, you know, they have a value, and you appreciate the value of things that you work hard for, I think.
I think that you know, the challenge of next year is incredible, both from the technical and sporting point of view, and you know, if we can summarize with the word, is really radical.
To develop a car and technology that has been never used before in Formula One in 12 days of testing. This has been an amazing work.
Des centaines de journées de travail, des centaines de personnes mobilisées pour donner corps à un rêve. Avant le début de la saison, Ferrari semble placé dans le sillage des écuries équipées par Mercedes.
I think there's a lot of places that we can improve, and we'll be surprised how fast we can go with the cars today.
Our aim is to fight for the championship, and our aim is to win the Formula One World Championship. There is no other thing. I will lie if I say something different. We are Ferrari, we have to deliver always. People expect a lot from us, and we are ready to do so.
Plus que quelques jours à patienter, quelques jours pour travailler. Dimanche 16 mars, en Australie, la Scuderia espère débuter un nouveau chapitre victorieux de son histoire.